Walking these streets, shadows fall, lost in a world, echoes call, searching for light, voices true, St. James Church in the heart of the blue. Glorify God, nurture all, share the gospel, hear the call. That is what we do at St. James, breaking chains, singing new names, pushing through the night.
Well, welcome to our 75th anniversary talks. We're here with Hailey and Katie Schabo, and we're talking about how they came to the church. And so how did you guys come into the church?
You wanna do it or me?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, we used to go to church in Kokomo,
Okay.
and then we came here, I think, like 2003-ish.
Oh, okay.
We were young.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't ever remember going to Kokomo.
Okay.
But I think we came here because it was closer.
Yeah. Well, the church in Kokomo was a Wisconsin synod, and
Oh,
that's
okay.
how my dad grew up.
Right.
So
you had
then we
said
ended
that,
up
yeah.
transferring to Missouri when we moved here. I don't know what the whole reasoning behind it is, but we came when we were little. I think I was in first grade.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, pretty much been here most of the time. But I did get baptized at the other church and then
Oh,
spent
okay.
most of the childhood here and
Yeah.
Okay.
growing up.
So what are some things you've done at St. James?
You should answer first, then I'll answer next.
Just
Just so we know who goes
rotation
first,
going.
okay?
Okay.
Unless you want me to go first.
Some of the things that we've done at St. James, well, we were heavily involved in the youth group, and we got to go to NYG twice, so
Oh,
that
you
was a
did?
big deal.
Both of us got to go twice.
Mhm.
Oh,
'Cause,
okay.
yeah,
we
now,
went.
which place did you go?
We went to New Orleans and to Minneapolis.
She went to.
Oh.
I went to San Antonio,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So different.
Yep. So
I went
our
to San
freshman and
Antonio
our senior
first,
years.
and then New Orleans. We went together
Mhm.
because I was a
Oh.
senior, she was a freshman, and then
Mhm.
her senior year she went to Minneapolis.
Mhm.
Oh,
And Dad
okay.
and Vonda actually got to go to that one too.
Oh, okay.
So that was cool to see them see it as well, since like I had already seen it, and
Yeah.
seeing the younger kids and experiencing it for the second time too.
I was really jealous about Minnesota because that's my team.
Yeah.
And Jasmine was at that
Oh,
one too,
was
and
she?
she got to see the new stadium, which I've never
It
to
was-
this day seen.
It's really cool to see everybody in the stadium like all together. Like it's like, oh, just a bunch of like Lutheran teenagers and like, you know, the accompanying adults.
Yeah.
So that's really cool to see too. And then, you know, of course, you're doing whatever work that they want you to do. When
Sure.
we went to New Orleans, we were like mulching, like,
Oh.
and it was in July, so it was
Ooh.
super, super hot. That was rough. That was rough.
She's talking about like the servant events that
Yeah.
they have
Oh,
to do
yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was-
I mean, that's like small car park. compared
No,
to
I
the
know,
whole
I
thing.
know, but it was so hot.
That's what she remembers. Clearly.
I remember a lot more, but you know, I just remember it was super cool because everybody was there, and you know, New Orleans is not necessarily like, you don't think of New Orleans like, oh, this is a very churchy place. Like you kind of think of like
Yeah.
Mardi Gras and
Right.
you know, things like that. So it was really cool to see everybody there for the youth gathering.
Yeah.
Mhm. For me, obviously we were both in the youth group. I did the soundboard, I think,
Oh, you
in high
did?
school.
Oh,
So I used to do
okay.
the soundboard. And we did the skits for VBS
Mhm.
and
Oh, yeah.
Christmas we did. And
I was in the Nativity Walk a couple
yeah,
times too.
I
Oh,
wasn't here
okay.
for I didn't do I've been to the Nativity Walk,
Mhm.
but I've never been in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Peggy,
biggest thing
we
was
were
definitely
always
youth group.
in like the plays in VBS though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peggy always had us in those.
Yeah.
And being a counselor at
Yeah.
VBS too.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
so that's the main. The youth group is definitely the biggest thing that we were in though.
Yeah, definitely. That
Sure.
is
And now you're a
impacted
youth
us.
board member.
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes,
am
you are.
a youth
Yes, you
board
are.
member.
Yeah.
Although I've been to one meeting so far,
Oh, that's
so
all right.
I'm not super far into it, but I'm enjoying to see how things are looking now than they used to look
Yeah, we're kind of going through that transition between
Yeah.
the older youth kind of moving out,
Yeah.
but we've got these younger kids
Yeah.
coming up. So yeah, it's gonna be some interesting years.
Yeah,
coming up.
it'll definitely be interesting, and it's already been interesting with like the changes because when we were in youth group, we weren't allowed to be in youth group until what, sixth
we
grade?
just like
Fifth grade?
anxiously awaited
Fifth grade, I think.
until you made it to 5th grade because it was like
That was a
you
big
got
deal.
to be in
Oh,
youth
wow.
group. It was so.
And you got to be, once you got into high school, then you got to be in the loft upstairs. That was a big deal too.
Yeah.
But obviously
I
things
like
like
that they had the
Yeah.
younger kids. To it.
it's cool to see
It was the best part of me growing up is being in youth group.
yeah,
So if you get
for
to do that
sure.
earlier, then that's even more.
For sure. And like
get
we
to
don't really
enjoy it.
have a lot of older kids right now. So,
Right,
in a couple years our youth group will look more similar to what we're used to, but
Yeah.
it's cool seeing them at this stage as well.
Yeah, matter of fact, I've got to go up and film that loft because I don't think a lot of people know that even exists.
Almost nobody goes up there.
Yeah,
treasure.
because
Yeah.
it's really cool up there with
Yeah.
the couches and the pool table. And I think
Mhm.
I wonder how many members actually know that that's there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
It used to be a thing where the youth group would paint their part on the wall
That's-
too, and now
that's-
they kind of ran out of room, I think. So
and then
kinda
they
quit
just
doing
painted
that.
the whole wall teal, but they
yeah.
probably needed to do another coat because there's some things that like peek through.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's still stuff up there on
Yeah,
the walls.
yeah.
So
They don't,
it's-
do they not use that for like class anymore?
They do. They do use it for different things. So
Okay.
yeah,
Let's
but
say-
I don't think it's probably used as much as it could be.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a young adult like study with Katie Woolman, and it's supposed to be taking place up there
Yeah.
When is that?
for Sunday school.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
young adult basically
That'd be
out
cool.
of high school, going to
Mhm.
college and professional. Just
Mm-hmm.
Like under 30?
yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of because like my son who's 20 says I don't want to go to a Bible study with a bunch of old people like me. So
You're not old. I can relate. I can relate. I mean, that's not what I meant to agree. I meant to agree.
No, I mean,
Anyway.
no, yeah. No, it is designed for that, though.
Yeah.
It is
No, I think
designed
the
for
young
a
adult
group
is a
of
great
people.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are actually quite a few young adult
There-
people that are
there
in the
are.
congregation right
It's
now too.
just kind of getting them in
Mhm.
there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the hard part.
Yeah. So, who are some people that have had a big impact on your life?
Well, lots of people have made an impact, but notably, I think Peggy has made an impact on all of the youth.
Mhm.
She's, always been super supportive of us, and, she treats us like we're her own. Even after we've graduated, we're still, you still do stuff with Peggy on a regular
Mhm.
basis. Now I'm on the youth board. I'm still seeing her and stuff too. So that's really special. I feel like, Dad's made a big impact on us,
Mhm.
on implementing our faith and, making sure that we're here and, trying to support us in that way as well. When I was going through confirmation, Pastor Larman was here. So he was big on my confirmation, and that was
okay.
like a big impact on me too.
Sure.
And then, of course, when I was going through all that, there were 6 of us. It was me, Andrew and Marissa, Thomas,
Oh.
Lupe, and Peyton. And so that was really
okay.
big too, because we would all go together. And I know in Andrew and Marissa's, they said that they were kind of
Yeah.
the ringleaders, and I was kind of included in that. But
Yeah.
She's like, I was also really.
I mean, we were there together, but we would encourage everybody else to come and, seeing all the 6 of us together, it was really cool because, like,
Sure.
we didn't all go to the same school, and,
Yeah.
we were like, oh, we're friends here. We don't see each other that much outside of this, but it's really cool when we're able to get together.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that was a big thing for me too.
I agree with Hailey. So when I was growing up here, and Phil was the youth director.
Phil Rousseau.
Mhm.
So, but I was not old enough to be in the youth group then.
Oh.
And so when I got in a youth group, I don't know the whole timeline of it. Phil had passed away, and it was like
Oh.
huge
Mhm.
deal because he was just such a founding factor in
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
our youth group and stuff, and with the VBS, and but
Mhm.
Peggy took that over flawlessly.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely had we had multiple different youth pastors or people directors to help out like through the
Mhm.
years that they would like bring in, and I don't know what it was, but I mean, not to say they wouldn't last, but like they wouldn't last. I mean, they'd be there for a little bit, and then we,
Yeah.
you know, and then Peggy'd be there. Peggy's
Yep,
always there.
Peggy's always there.
She's always been there for us. She continues to be there for me in my adult life.
Yeah.
Major factor in our life. But like I don't know, we do a Bible study with Peggy.
Oh
and
yeah.
We actually
She told
started
me
it
about
with.
that, yeah.
We started it probably like 5 years ago now.
Oh wow.
And we've been doing it for a while, and we call ourselves Revelation Crew because we originally started studying Revelation because we were just interested in it, and so Pastor Lyman would zoom in with us and teach us things because she was like, I don't want to go, like I need help on that one. And so we started that, and my little group, we kind of had a trio: Grace Whittam, which is Ballinger now, or Wilk, and I. So we were all like, to me, they were some of my best friends growing up.
Sure.
I don't see Laura very often anymore, but Grace I still see on the regular. She's one of my bridesmaids.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like I'm probably missing somebody, so I'm sorry if I'm offending someone by missing them, but
too many people to list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of a lot of people that have made an influence on me here, you know, but those are definitely some of the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Now, I have like a story to tell.
Any story
about someone.
This
person probably doesn't know they have this impact on me. But I tell this story every once in a while, like when it comes up in a Bible study or something. But I'm pretty sure I was in it was King's Kids time. So it was when I was little.
Oh, okay.
I was young, and I still remember this to this day. And I'm pretty sure it was Mike Klein.
He used to do a lot of them.
Pastor Carlson would do them, but then every once in a while, like someone else would do them. I don't really know how they structured it. I was probably 8 at the time. But it was different King's Kids time than normally. Normally they're up there waiting on us, and and they're ready to speak to us, and when we were kids and stuff. And we sat in the pew. We didn't sit on the front.
Oh, okay.
So we sat in the pew, and I distinctly remember like nobody was there, and we were like, okay, what's going on? And he comes in from the back. I'm pretty sure it's Mike Klein, but I'm pretty sure it's him. So Mike, if you're watching this and it wasn't you, then you'll have to tell me who it was if you remember. He came in from the back, and he was like carrying a really heavy bag, and we were all like, what's going on? And he like just dropped it at the altar, and he basically just said like, that's like what it is when you go to Jesus, when you go to God with your struggles. You just drop it off, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to carry it anymore. Now he's carrying it, and not you. So
that's pretty poignant. Yeah,
that's always stuck with me. So Mike Klein's had a very big impact on my life.
That's pretty cool.
As well. I don't think he even knows it. So that's just something that stuck with me. So.
Yeah. So are there some events and stories that stand out that you remember from youth group or just in the church in general?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. It was when we went to New Orleans for National Youth Gathering. I locked myself out of the hotel room in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night?
Yeah. Because we stayed up late. Like, we'd be working all day, and we'd stay up late, do like a devotional, and we'd get up in the morning. And, so we didn't get a whole lot of sleep while we were there. And I could have sworn I heard somebody knock at the door. I'm like, well, I better go up and get it.
Let's just open the door in the middle of the night. While I'm sleeping.
I was asleep at that point still. So I
sleepwalking, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I opened the door, and I walked out, and the door closed, and I was awake then.
Oh, my goodness.
And the person that I am, I don't like to wake people up. So instead of knocking on the door like a normal person would do, I was like, I'm out of my room. I'm in my pajamas. I heard like people's got TV on, and I was like, I'll knock on their door and like call down to the front desk. And I'm like, well, a lot of people sleep with the TV on, so I'm like, that's not a very good option. And then I was like hoping that there would be phones by the elevator so that I could like call down, but there wasn't. So I just went down and got a new card, and then I went back, and it was like 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
And went back to sleep like nothing happened.
Went back to sleep like nothing happened. And then in the morning, Beth Larman was like, did one of you guys like open the door or something last night? And I said, I'll explain at breakfast. Because she said she distinctly remembers like doing the little lock thing on the door, and it wasn't done that anyway. So that was
That's
very
funny.
interesting. But that was something that we kind of laughed about. But it was also like, that's scary because I'm in high school in New Orleans and middle of the night.
It's more scary. I think it's probably more scary in retrospect. Just
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
what could have happened when
Yeah.
you
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
realize it at the time.
Yeah, definitely. And thankfully, I was just like smart about it. I just went down and got a key, but it was just like, I should have just knocked on the door. Now I would have, but that was not the thought that went through my head because I didn't want to wake anybody up.
Yeah. I have a few moments that I can remember. Very impactful moments, I'd say. Like, I was trying to think about this. I had very little bit of time to just think about my answers here, but every time I think about an impactful moment for me, it's like at a youth gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's like we went to Never Too Young at Indiana Wesleyan,
Okay.
like that was like a junior high event. We went to I think I went to Fusion, but I don't think I went every year. But for Never Too Young, I went more than once. And then we went, obviously, the National Youth Gathering. We went twice, but it was always at an event like that. I remember distinctly for the very first time in my life at Never Too Young, we were singing. I'm pretty sure it's called. It was. Like, music is a big thing. I really like to worship through music.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, we don't always, like, here at church or, we're not always, like, clapping our... Every once in a while, we would get people clapping their hands.
Yeah,
that was a great day.
Yeah.
And you left church feeling on top of the world,
Yeah.
Right.
The one song that you do, I remember, like, we were... Because, we always... This is a side story. We always sit in the front row,
Right.
And the Wilkes sit here, and then Shabos, and the one song, I can't remember exactly what it is. It's like, behold, he comes.
Oh.
And there's like hand motions to it. What's that song called?
I don't know, but you're like rising on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
Oh yeah, I know the song you're
We all
talking
did
about. I
that,
can't
and
think of it in my head.
every time we did something like, if there's a good song at the end, I just always left in such a good mood.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point to that story is that Never Too Young that time, they encourage us to like raise our hands up, and a lot of people at other churches, because we did the thing where we would visit other churches in youth group and see the different styles. There's a whole different styles of worship.
Oh yeah.
That was cool
Here we
to
don't
see.
always, have our hands up like that, but I did that for the first time ever there, and it felt so freeing. Like, it was just basically what just lots of spiritual moments, honestly, where like the Holy Spirit was just working in our hearts as kids.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you look in the back sometimes in second service, you'll find my wife doing this.
Good. Yeah, I love that.
So you're not alone.
Like, it's such a simple thing to do, but the feeling it brings you is just like unexplainable.
Yeah.
Sure, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, we have I think in the early when the Christians were being persecuted, they went into the caves to hide. We actually have paintings of them lifting their hands up in prayer, and it even says in Scripture, men would lift their hands up, and men would lift their hands up in prayer. So it's just Lutherans are kind of, as I joke, the frozen chosen. We can't move too much.
That was the first time I'd ever done that, and it was like I felt the Holy Spirit. That was probably the first time that I really felt the Holy Spirit work in my heart like that.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely felt like that when I was at National Youth Gathering too, because it's like that's all you're surrounded with is all these people. So it's like you leave, you go home, and you're like, "This is awesome. Let's praise the Lord. Like, let's go out and have a good day."
Right.
That's always how I felt with National Youth Gathering. I thought it was awesome. And like then you're just like riding this high, and you're like, "This is awesome." Yeah. Being surrounded by that kind of stuff really makes a difference.
It peps you up.
Well, it really just James for me is like. We went to that church in Kokomo, and I was baptized there, and that planted the seed. And then I came to St. James, and they really watered me a lot. So many people poured into me here, and so I feel like my roots are here.
Sure.
And they've been dug in really deep because of how much that we learned and how much we experienced. And so now I'm an adult and I don't go here anymore. You know, I go to the church in Fort Wayne with my fiance.
Sure.
But I just really feel like my roots are here, and I feel like I could come back here, which I have come back here, and everybody says hello, everybody still like knows me and loves me, and I love them, and it's just, I really love the people here, and I'm really thankful for how much they've poured into us as, you know, when we were kids and stuff. Even, I still have a note in my memory box from, I think it's Dwayne McClure. He just wrote me a note one time. I think they were the congregation was encouraged to write notes to the people going to National Youth Gathering. I had one from him, and it was just the sweetest thing. And I just remember thinking, oh, this person's praying for me, and I don't know him that well, but you know, it feels really good to know that all these people care about us and want to pour into us and stuff.
They don't have to know us, but you know, they've always known us sitting in the front row, and you know, known us growing up as kids, and now they see us as adults, and they're like, "Oh, I remember when you were this big," and you know, things like that too. But you know, we don't know a stranger here.
Right.
Everybody is so welcoming to new people coming in the door, and to people who are coming back, and you know, like I still do go here, and you know, I'm part of the youth board, and you know, it looks different than it did when I was growing up, but you know, it's like the people haven't changed. They still treat us like family, and you know, it's, you know, if you ever bring anybody into the church, you know.
Yeah, I think Ethan was overwhelmed. He was like, wow, everybody's so friendly.
You know, it's like you're introducing them to your family. And so it's, you know, it's a big deal bringing someone here.
Which is like, I mean, it's cool.
It is. Yeah. It's
I don't think every church is like that, where you can just
walk
in and everybody. My dad said something. He was like, well, when someone new comes, I watch a little bit and make sure that like someone says hi to them, and usually like 3 to 5 people say hi. And if it hits more than that, he's like, I'll hold off, because but like everybody's so friendly and they want to say hi to a new member or a newcomer. But definitely just what I was trying to say before without crying now. But like, my faith roots are here. Okay, I feel like I have a very strong foundation in my faith because of the fact that we grew up going to church here.
Sure.
Definitely.
So, any other stories that you had?
We always had the lock-in every year. That was always fun.
I was just thinking we played sardines. That was like one of the best
That
things.
was so fun. There used to be so much stuff.
I was going to say these rooms used to be full of stuff, so we would just hide them in between.
There was great hiding spots. Yeah. We've gotten rid of a lot of things.
You could use the whole church, and it was so fun.
Yeah. We usually didn't go in the sanctuary, but everywhere else was, you know, it was free range, but it was always really fun because sardines, you go and you find the person, then you hide with them. So we'd have like 6 different people like in this little teeny tiny space with all this stuff around us. And, you know, it was just like, it was always,
nobody could find me.
You were always really good at sardines. You know, but I look back and like, you know, doing the overnight thing, I'm like, we struggled so much to get through the night, to stay awake. And I do that all the time now. I work night shift.
Oh,
you know? So it's like, it's nothing even to blink an eye. But
I think I was fine staying up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, some
now
years it was better, but some years were better. But you know, it's like you'd get like be like 4 or 5 a.m. Like those are the haunting hours.
Oh yeah.
In general, like those are hard to stay awake. But you know, we'd be sitting around, or we'd be playing line beach volleyball or sardines, or you know, something like that, and it was always really fun. And I remember there was one year that Lupe and Marissa and I, like, we were all just like sitting in the stairwell and like we're just chit chatting, and I mean that was just what it was, you know. We just hung out with everybody and had a good time and stayed up all night.
I always like the progressive dinner. And going to Vernon Manor and caroling, even like after I didn't go here as much, I would still come back and go to Vernon Manor and do caroling, and I don't know. Do they still do the progressive dinner?
No.
No, we did that the first couple years I was here, but we just
Yeah.
ran out of places to
Yeah.
do it. And
We kind of ran out of people, I think, a little
Yeah.
bit too, but I think we'll
Yeah.
probably start doing that
Oh,
again
yeah,
at some
yeah.
point.
That was
But
People
always, that was
enjoyed
always a
that.
really fun part. I always liked that. It was just the biggest ordeal, but
Yeah.
and everybody that put the effort into it. I mean, I think it was worth it because
oh yeah.
it was.
I
really
mean,
great.
just doing like just the things that we did in youth group, like even if it was something just minor, like even just riding in the car to go there was fun.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You know, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm riding in this car with this person, and I'm going in here." And the progressive dinner, you know, was always fun because usually the Wilkes would have lasagna, and like we'd do dessert usually, and like someone else would do like salads or something, and you know, we'd have the left-right game with the little gifts.
Oh,
you know,
oh yeah.
with
yeah.
like there was a story, and everyone brought a little $5 gift, and
Well, and at Burnham Manor too, we'd see the same people.
Yeah,
year after
that was
year, and
always
they
cool.
look forward to seeing us, and we look forward to seeing them. And
mhm,
you know, they'd walk. Some of them would walk around with us, and
mhm.
and like we'd hold their hand.
Yeah.
And,
We'd give them papers, and you know, it was, you know, we'd see them when they weren't there too, and you know,
Right.
it's like we made such an impact on them too, because like those were like some of the only gifts that they got, and
Oh,
they
yeah,
look forward to that caroling every year and seeing
Yeah.
people, so that was always really cool too.
Yeah. Very much so.
I just thought of another thing too. In addition, like with who like made an impact on me, I was just thinking this, which I was gonna say earlier because I'm like, oh, Beth and PL, obviously. But like when I was thinking about it, I couldn't. But then also Allison Eckert,
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
like we've become a lot more close in more recent years since we've done like the like she's a little bit older than me, so we weren't like friends in like growing
Sure,
up in youth
sure.
group, but like more like so in adulthood, like
Oh,
we've
sure.
gotten a lot closer throughout
Mhm.
our Bible studies because she does the Bible studies with us. So
Yeah.
we
Right.
started with the group's gotten bigger as we've added a few people here and there,
Mhm.
but she was one of the
Yeah.
main
Her
starters
interview
to that. Yeah.
actually drops tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh.
really?
I did hers
Okay.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So Allison
Good.
is in there too. So hi, Allison. Sorry I didn't forget you. But
Yeah. So, any significant changes that happened during your time that were important to you, or
Well, we saw Pastor Carlson, and then when he left, that was a big deal.
Oh,
You know, that was
yeah.
people were very emotional, and you know, we weren't sure what was gonna happen. We had several interim pastors. You know, Pastor Larman was with us for
Yeah.
several years. So you know, just the changing of pastors was kind of a lot, just because
Sure.
I think like we had at least 3 interim pastors. But
Yeah.
it was, you know, interesting to see, especially because we were in like junior high and high school and
Right.
stuff, to see like the differences of how the pastors.
Oh,
I think it was good though. I mean,
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
had, you know, there was Pastor Miller, and I remember Pastor Riney was here
Mhm.
several times, and that's
Mhm.
all I remember as being interim, really. But like, I think even that, like, for me, like, youth group was where it's at, and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so
Sure.
even though like that wasn't as
Mhm.
constant, like throughout our, like, you know,
Mhm.
childhood, and I
Yeah.
where kidhood came from. Throughout like a teen or teenage
Yeah.
is more what I
Yeah.
meant
Yeah.
for that. Like it didn't matter because we had youth group.
Right.
Right. Right.
It was a
Right.
it
That
was
was your
a
concept.
really
Like,
strong
it-
backbone.
So I mean, obviously, like, you know, it'd be good to,
Mhm.
you know, whatever.
Sure.
My point is, you get the point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's
Yeah.
over the years, that's what's changed. Like, you know, we've had different pastors and stuff. Now, the noticeable changes that I see is how our youth group is run. Is like we said before, it's
Right.
the littles now,
Right.
and not like the big kids. So that's
Right.
that's a change, and it's a good change, but it's a change.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to deal with them totally different than you
Oh,
would
yeah, yeah.
with older kids.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's
Ew.
fun. It's interesting. It's a lot different than what I've been used to in the past, but it's fun seeing it as I'm the adult now, which is super weird.
Yeah.
And you know, we've got, you know, as young as 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
be
interesting.
fun. I love
It
that
is
age.
fun. We had the fall festival the other day, and we went on the.
I wasn't invited.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Is that Peggy's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't even invited.
It was actually really fun. You know, we did all the normal fall festival things. They painted pumpkins,
Sure,
and you know, we went on the hayride, and it was actually really fun because the hayride was always fun.
Right.
But you know, seeing just the little kids, and it's a fun change.
Yeah, it is. So what hopes do you have for St. James' future?
I mean, obviously, I always hope for it to grow. You know, I'd love to see more younger people in here. I know that there were some people coming from Taylor for a little bit, so that was nice
Yeah.
to see some young faces in here.
Yeah.
You know, I like to see, you know, how the youth group is going to continue to change, how it's going to continue to grow. You know, I told them yesterday at the fall festival, I said, these are going to be your best friends right here, okay?
Yeah.
You guys are going to learn to love each other, and you're going to grow up together.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can see myself here a little bit more often and be back, you know, with
Okay.
everybody. So that would be my hope for the future, probably.
Okay. All right. Well, anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, thanks
Yeah.
for coming in,
Yeah,
And
thanks for
thanks for
having
Meeting
us.
with us, yeah.
and we will see you next week. Peace out.
Walking these streets, shadows fall, lost in a world, echoes call, searching for light, voices true, St. James Church in the heart of the blue. Glorify God, nurture all, share the gospel, hear the call. That is what we do at St. James, breaking chains, singing new names, pushing through the night, feeling small, seeking the answers stall.